One of the great things about creating Flash help systems is the number of options you have when it comes to formatting and really adding pizzazz to your help system. For example, if we wanted to create something graphical in the background, a Flash help system is an ideal type of system for doing that. So we're still working with our Using LDC project. Here on our welcome topic, we do have a graphical image that's separating our heading from our normal text. Looks kind of cool. If we go to some of the other topics like memberships, for example, and double click, we don't have that. Same thing for exercise files. You'll notice how the headings are centered. There's no extra line in between. So if we want to start making changes, including what we see in the background, we have the option of doing it to one topic at a time or to doing it to the entire project at a time. Let's just go back to welcome here. Take a look. So we have our heading over here on the left just for welcome. We made that change individually to this topic. If we want to make the change to the entire project, remember it's the CSS file. So we'll go to our project files, click the plus sign to expand it, and we'll scroll down until we see how to use.css. Double click that. We'll go up to our paragraph, expand that, go to heading 1, and let's just change that to left aligned. Now when we click OK, all of our different topics, check it out, the headings are left aligned. Step 1. Beautiful. So we can do it one at a time or to every single heading through the CSS file. Keep that in mind now as we start to do a little bit of formatting in our background. So here in our topic, if we're going to change the background, really it doesn't matter where we click. We're going to go up to Format, then we'll go down to Borders and Shading, and we'll see the Borders and Shading dialog. Now from here we can start creating boxes and things around our content. If we click in the content down below the heading, that's where we'd be adding our boxes or borders. But if we go to shading here, for example, you'll see that the default is transparent, and we have the option of choosing colors, patterns, and this little binocular button allows us to go to some of those backgrounds we saw earlier when we were inserting images from the gallery. But let's just start with color. We'll click the drop down and let's just choose something like yellow. That's the lynn.com color right there. When we click apply, you can see that it's in behind our content. So we didn't have to click anywhere specific in our content. The entire content area here has a yellow background. Doesn't that look great? I'm kidding. Doesn't look great. It would be very hard to read, and so we're going to change it back to transparent. But you do have a number of different colors that you can apply. The other option, though, is to put some kind of background that will go in behind our text that will make it easy to read but look nice at the same time. So let's go to Pattern, we'll click the binoculars, and we've seen this image dialog before where we can select images or go to the gallery. And the gallery does have categories including backgrounds, and as we click the gallery file names, you can see a preview of what that's going to look like. So let's just scroll down to some of the texture type backgrounds like Bumpy. And as we click those, we see a nice little preview. And I'm thinking maybe Bumpy 2 looks like it might work well with our content. When we click Apply and then OK, we see it in the preview. Click Apply here and we see it in our project. And you can click OK. So that's to one individual topic again. If we go to memberships, or our exercise files, we don't see those changes there. So that's where we might want to adjust the CSS file again. So let's go to our CSS file in the Project Manager pod and double click. Because from here we can actually make changes by clicking the other plus sign, and here you'll see background and text body. That's what we've been working with. And when we select that, we have all of these options here for adjusting it in our CSS file, which will affect our entire project. Of course, what we want to do is format the background, so we're going to go to the Format button, choose Borders and Shading from here. Looks very familiar. When we go to Shading, click the binoculars to look for our background in the gallery. We know it's a texture. Scroll down through to the textures under Backgrounds here, and we want Bumpy 2. That's the one right there. We can click OK. Click OK again. We see a preview of that, and when we click OK, there it is in the background, not just behind our content, but wherever there's text. So for example, if we go to memberships now, we can click that tab, it's in the background. Same thing for exercise files and so on. So if you're going to change the look and feel of your content by adding backgrounds, you can do it topic by topic, area by area within that topic, or if you prefer, affect all of the topics by going to your CSS file.